ExcavationClass wanted me to get everybody together today, go through a training class on underground utilities location. First thing I'll start out with, this is an OSHA safety bulletin regarding hazards associated with striking underground gas lines. Obviously the purpose is to remind contractors of OSHA's guidelines for locating underground utilities and to recommend notification procedures if the excavator does strike an underground gas line. The background of this issue: on December 11, 1998, while attempting to install a utility pole support anchor in a city sidewalk in St. Cloud, Minnesota, a cable construction company installation crew struck and ruptured an underground 1-inch diameter high-pressure plastic gas service pipeline, resulting in a natural gas leak. Approximately 39 minutes later, while utility workers and emergency response personnel were assessing the situation and taking preliminary steps to stop the gas leak, an explosion occurred. As a result of the explosion, 4 people were fatally injured, 1 person was seriously injured, and 10 people, including 2 firefighters and 1 police officer, received minor injuries. 6 buildings were destroyed. The description: the cable company was installing a utility pole support anchor in a city sidewalk. They struck and ruptured an underground high-pressure gas service pipeline, resulting in a natural gas leak. Within a minute of striking the gas line, the company foreman followed company procedures, informing a supervisor. However, the supervisor did not immediately notify the owner of the gas line or the emergency response agencies. About 15 minutes after the gas line was struck, another individual who was not associated with the construction project notified emergency responders. The supervisor called the owner of the gas line about 30 minutes after the line was struck. The fire truck and 4 firefighters were on the scene about 18 minutes after the rupture and about 2 minutes after being notified. 2 power company employees, a gas technician specialist, and a utility locator technician, having been notified by the fire department, arrived on the scene 26 minutes after the pipeline was ruptured. The gas technician specialist entered the basement of a nearby building which housed a deli and a pizza restaurant. While the gas technician specialist was taking readings with a combustible gas monitor, the locator technician was determining whether the gas service line was properly marked. Approximately 39 minutes after the gas line was struck, the explosion killed the gas technician specialist, the utility locator technician, 1 person in the building, and a nearby pedestrian. A 3-person power company construction crew, which had been dispatched to shut down the damaged portion of the line, was still 2 blocks away from the accident site when the explosion occurred. According to the report of the Minnesota Fire Marshal, the explosion occurred in the basement of the building that housed the pizza restaurant and deli. The report could not identify the source that ignited the gas that was accumulated in the basement. However, potential ignition sources included gas water heaters. Essentially what this is telling us is that it's some serious shit, especially if we hit a gas line. You know, there's a potential for combustion to happen and people to be killed. That's why what happened last week was such a serious thing. The thing that happened in this situation that was pretty unacceptable is that the gas company and the emergency response crews were not immediately notified. I think that we've mitigated that. I think our response time was 2 minutes after Mr. Townsend notified me, and the fire department and the gas company were out here quick. So kind of the purpose of this class is just to go through an emergency response procedure, especially if Scotty or I are not out here, or if one of us is injured after a gas line is hit. Inside Scotty's truck, he's got a thick binder that has our wide area work plan, and in that there are the emergency contact numbers. Everybody's seen Joaquin out here, correct? The New Mexico gas guy. He's the secondary point of contact if something were to happen. The initial point of contact is the New Mexico Gas Dispatch Office. We have an 800 number written down inside the binder, and they're the first people we need to call. You know, obviously, if somebody's injured immediately after a gas line is struck, we need to call 911. At this location, that's going to call the Sandoval County 911 dispatch, and they will immediately have Santo Domingo Fire out here. They're the emergency response crew for the area. The second thing that we want to go through is a process that Jeff wants to put in place to mitigate the possibility for this to happen again, for us to strike an underground utility. You know, gas is obviously the most dangerous, but we also want to make sure that if a phone line spotted, a sewer line, or a water line are spotted in the area, that we're going through and we're locating where our production plan is going to take us through and where we might cross those utility lines. I've got a couple of books here. I'll give these to the diggers, primarily Fausto and Rico. But what it does is it's going to kind of force us to go through our production lanes for each day. You know, we're going to write our date. If we come to a utility line that's line spotted in our area, we're going to write it down. So in this instance, I wrote gas line. And then we're going to identify the number of crossings and the station numbers from the plans. So a couple of things that you're going to need your book, you know, bring a tape measure. You're going to need a set of the plans so you can locate where on the plans, and this is just going to give us a good log of where we have utilities in the area. Locate what actions you took. So if you come across a gas line, you see that you have 4 crossings for the day. What we're going to do, and I guess we can use this right here as an example. So we're going to get our 24 inches, put our 24 inches down. We're going to mark it in white. And this is just only if we had a spot. Obviously in this case, if the line's running this way, we're going to go 24 inches to the left and 24 inches to the right. This gives us about a 6-inch buffer. The way the New Mexico, I think it's the Protection of Underground Utilities Act that was recently passed. I guess New Mexico was spending a ton of money coming out and repairing damaged underground utilities. So I think it was in 1998 that they passed this act, and it says that we have to take a reasonable amount of safety precaution within 18 inches of a line spot. So we're giving ourselves about a 6-inch buffer right here, 24 inches out. You know, because as we saw yesterday, sometimes the spotting companies or the spotting guys, they're a little bit off. So we're just going to make kind of a 24-inch radius around our line spot. And this is going to be our potholing area right here. And obviously we're going to start right where the line spot is spotted, and then we're going to move out and away from the line spot if we're not able to locate anything in that area. If we're not able to locate anything within the 24 inches, we're going to be covered by the law. But especially if we're in and around a gas line, we need to still proceed with caution because of the dangerous nature of working around gas lines. You know, I don't want to have to call George or CenturyLink to come out and fix a phone line, and I don't want to have Eugene scrambling to find a shutoff valve for a water line. So we just need to proceed with caution if we don't find anything within a 24-inch radius of the line spot. You know, after we locate an existing underground utility, the laborers need to make sure that they notify the operators so they know where the utility is at. Definitely notify Scotty. So that once we get to that area, we're able to protect that line, because we're responsible for that line by law. Beyond that, if we aren't able to find the utility within 24-inch radius of the line spot, we need to proceed with the process that Carl and Farrell came up with yesterday. We're going to go ahead and we're going to dig down about a shovel's length and a shovel's width. And then we'll get the excavating machine to come in and kind of scrape those sides out so that the laborers who are down in the ditch can spot and see if we come across any tape or anything like that. As long as we're not digging new holes or new trench where the line spot's at, we're just kind of scraping out where we've already identified that there's no utility crossing, then we'll be covered. Beyond that, I think that was a good process yesterday. We were able to find the water service line, and we were able to find the gas service line with no issues. So I think that was a good process, and that's why we're going to implement it. Does anybody have any questions about, I guess, the dangerous nature? Yeah.
If we're crossing a line and we can't find it, and our trench is about maybe 5 feet.
Yeah.
You want to go deeper, or we just stay in our trench and we can go right over it, even if we don't find it?
Always, because the teeth on the backhoe, you know, that's the operators and you guys on the laborers. Like I said, when you do your shovel length, you go a foot deeper than you want him to dig. So you shovel down 2 feet with the shovel, he'll take a foot off. You go another foot, he'll take a foot off. So always keep that buffer between what you got and what he's going to take out. You always be deeper than him. If we're laying a line at 5 feet, let's check down 5.5, 6 feet. The operators, we're pulling that dirt out. Move those teeth down. Let's make sure you're shaving off less than what they dug.
So we will try to excavate a little deeper than our trench, just to make sure.
Just for that, you know, the operators we got are good, but you know they can fart down 6 inches. So you know, let's make sure we always over dig than what the operator's going to pull. And it's good always keep communication between you two and these guys in the ditch. And like we explained yesterday, you got to watch out for each other. Don't let each other talk you into something stupid. You know, if you got to get down and help them shovel, do it. If you're nervous about it, because you're protecting your own selves. And the same thing with you guys. You know, when you're down in there, keep an eye on them, so you know where their bucket is all the time, what they're doing, what they're thinking. Keep an eye out for each other.